as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington, and the Redskins there out to an early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
To try again after the sack, Jackson able to get this to Gordon. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. From the gun, Jackson being chased out left toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season, and the Ravens have taken the lead. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Go, go, go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But, you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. On 2nd and 9, Foles. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On the ball! 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 On the ball!
Watch the ship! Watch the ship! Hey, hey! Watch the ship! Hatchet! Hatchet!
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. He needed a yard. That's what he got. And it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, we got a seal. We got a seal. We got a seal.
From the gun, they run with Smallwood. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo! Mike 9!
Under, 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 under.
Get to that, Mike over here. Let's go, let's go.
Ball, ball.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Foles. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now Foles. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. To throw on 2nd and 10. Foles. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The open man is Westbrook. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll run for it with Fournette. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. He'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there and sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Now the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive? And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage.
It's now 3rd down and 1.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This time they stay on the ground. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
A gain of 11 yards. It's 4th down.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
You don't want none. Slam, slam, slam.
Deeper.
They'll try and run for it. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
So if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Hey, Haywood.
9, Mike 9.
He'll look to throw. Yeah, he's got his tight end, Oliver. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They try and run on first down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 46-yard line.
Here we go. 180. That's what I do. Hey.
52.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. Fournette, first down, still going. And finally brought down at the 38. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 38-yard line.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Rush in.
Now back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Check three. Here we go, checking motion. Check the call.
Fournette running out of the gun. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. Well, they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is going to be incomplete. The former first-round pick, Marlon Humphrey, there to get a hand on it. So the magic runs out, so to speak. They were 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions, now 3 for 4.
So the defense finally gets to exhale.
Yeah.
Because they were wondering, 3 for 3 getting converted on 4th down. That percentage is way high. They hadn't stopped them at all. Finally, they get a stop. They can get to the sidelines now and rest a little bit.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Here's Jackson to throw. Got Gordon open, completes it. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. And even 50 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. That one caught out wide by Boykin. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2. On 2nd down, Dobbins. And a short gain here down to the 22. The 2nd down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
I do know from experience, when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as the Ravens push further out in front. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Taco Charlton able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
First down. 1st and 10. That's a 38-yard line.
Foles now, perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. A shotgun give to Fournette. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. The former first-round pick, Marlon Humphrey, there to get a hand on it.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
You gotta get the ball, D. Get the ball. Go. Hey, Echo. No, check that. We want Mike 52 right here. 52. Let's get the ball. Check, 52's the Mike. Check. To go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Open man is Westbrook, complete. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Here we go.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's Foles. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. And now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Jackson. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball in the coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Taco Charlton in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Another try after the first down sack. Foles. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Foles. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
64.
Looking to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 72 yards. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll take this one down near the 15. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins, and all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. And they give this time to the tailback. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back up.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, as his guys are back within a single score. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So a minute and change to go, and this is going to be an onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yard.